Welcome back, friends, to another episode of Camp Cinema. Today I have the top 5 must-watch John Carpenter films on tap. I've been wanting to do a video like this. I'm going to kind of do several ones like this where I break off into talking about directors, maybe some genres, and kind of pick a list of the ones that I feel you should watch the most. We are going to get right into it, my friends, with number 5 of the top 5 John Carpenter films you must watch. And number 5 is going to be none other than They Live. This movie was one of those that when I was a kid and I first saw this, I absolutely was over the moon with this movie. You had Rowdy Piper, growing up in the 80s, you watch those wrestlers, you see that stuff, and then they get a movie in like a horror/sci-fi movie. Of course you're going to watch that. This movie, I love the social commentary in this movie. I feel that it's almost even more relevant today than it was back when this was made. One of the main reasons to watch this film, not only is it an amazing, just good sci-fi social commentary film, this has one of the best fight scenes I think I have ever seen in a movie, as far as two big men just going at it for like 10 minutes in an alleyway. And just every time you think the fight is going to stop, it just keeps going and gets more over the top. And it truly looks like these two are absolutely beating the dog turd out of each other. So, yes, coming in at number 5, They Live. All right, moving right along to number 4. None other than Big Trouble in Little China. Yes, Jack Burton, he always says, the check is in the mail. I love Big Trouble in Little China, and anyone who hasn't seen this movie, this is an immediate put on your watch list. Go out and get it, find it on a streaming service, and watch this film. This is like nothing else John Carpenter ever really put together. Elements of comedy, the elements of the supernatural, the Kurt Russell. What's so funny about this is that you think you're watching Kurt Russell being the hero, when it turns out that he really is kind of the bumbling idiot of the entire movie, and everyone else around him is making things happen. The 3 characters of the lightning and thunder and those guys, obviously one is just completely a Raiden, if you will. And I want to say this, I can't remember if this came out before or after the original Mortal Kombat, but there's definitely Raiden in this movie for sure. I love David Lopan. He is basically the demon in this movie that Jack Burton and his buddy Wang must go after. You have Egg Shen, the local wizard, if you will. He is absolutely amazing with his 6 demon bag. So yes, coming in at number 4, absolute must-watch John Carpenter film, Big Trouble in Little China. Moving on to number 3, and one of my favorites for sure, and that is going to be Escape from New York. Yes, once again, you are getting another Kurt Russell, John Carpenter team up. This, of course, this character is Snake Plissken, which he is basically recruited by, I don't know, I guess the futuristic CIA, I would guess. I don't know. That's Van Cleef is your guy. And he basically sends Kurt Russell into New York, which is now a prison island. It has been separated, and Manhattan is now just a prison island. Once you're sent there, you never get out. Well, Air Force One crashed there, and the president was kidnapped by the Duke of New York, which is, of course, Isaac Hayes. And Isaac Hayes is so coked out this entire movie, there is never a scene where he is not drenched in sweat. Snake Plissken, of course, he's got the eye patch, he's got the one eye, and he is one bad mother. And I absolutely love Escape from New York. You've got Donald Pleasance in this. You've got Adrienne Barbeau in here. Oh, man. Your work is done by Dean Cundey, of course, with John Carpenter and Halloween. You have so many amazing people in this movie. I absolutely love it. This is hands down a must-watch John Carpenter film. Escape from New York. Moving in to Utah. Make it 2. Some of you will get that. Some of you won't. And I know what you're going to say, that this is at number 2. But yes, it is at number 2, even though it is hailed as John Carpenter's masterpiece, of course, which that is the 1978 Halloween. Everything about this movie is perfection. It truly is. This was, a bunch of college kids making their film, going out there, no budget whatsoever. They got $300,000 to put this movie together. And if you really look at that in the grand scale of things, sure, $300,000 to you and I, that's life-changing money. To make a film, though, not so much. Nick Castle basically played the shape of Michael Myers for free. He slept, he just wanted to see a movie being put together. Him and John Carpenter were friends. He showed up to the set saying, hey, is there anything I can do? I'll carry lights around, I'll do this. And John Carpenter basically said, great, you're going to be the shape. You go back and you watch the making of this and where they talk about this. And of course, there was 2 masks that were picked out on the shoestring budget. They actually brought a clown mask back. And then, of course, the iconic William Shatner mask, in which they made into the Michael Myers mask. I love everything about this film, the way that it is shot. I love the huge, epic, just wide shots throughout this entire movie. You just get to see the street that Michael is stalking Laurie and her friends on. I love all the direction in this movie. The lighting is spectacular. There's a scene where one of the victims, Annie, is in a laundry room, and there's just this light beaming through this door, and you just see the silhouette of Michael standing there. And then, of course, one of the most iconic scenes is when Laurie Strode is finding everyone in the house dead, and she backs up, and the light just slowly comes on off to the side of her shoulder, revealing that Michael is standing directly behind her. Absolute genius filmmaking in this for sure. So coming in at number 2, John Carpenter's Halloween, which of course brings us to number 1. The Thing. This, as I said, I know that Halloween is hailed as Carpenter's masterpiece, and everyone loves Halloween, and I love Halloween. Who doesn't love Halloween? But The Thing. This is movie-making magic at its finest. Rob Bottin takes things to another level at this day when this was made. There's no CGI. Everything in this movie is practically done. All the monster effects, all the thing. It is all real, done, on camera, and there are some absolutely magical moments in this film. The dogs all changing and morphing, and when it reveals itself and you start seeing just different dog heads coming out, but then you see these flowers that turn into teeth, and then the arms. It's showing that the thing, no one knows what the thing is. It could have been to 1,000 planets before it's been to ours, and it has absorbed creatures from all these other planets. So it truly can be anything. I love it. The entire direction of this film, the cast, once again, you're getting Kurt Russell and John Carpenter pairing up. You're also getting Keith David in this movie as well. You have Wilford Brimley and his diabetes. I mean, it is just an absolute all-star cast, and the entire movie does such a good job in its pacing and in its structure of you never knowing who is actually the thing until it reveals itself. I love the ending. I love that there's so many conspiracy theories about the ending. There's so many people who think they know. John Carpenter's come out, but he's always been very wishy-washy. One week he'll tell you it's this, the next week he'll tell you it's this. On, who was the thing at the end. Of course, the big ultimate theory on it is that when him and Childs are sitting there at the end, you can see that when MacReady, Kurt Russell, is speaking, he has the oxidation of breath. When Childs, Keith David, is speaking, there is no oxidation of breath. And so that's the big conspiracy, that, of course, Childs at the end is the thing. But love everything about this movie, and this is definitely a John Carpenter film that if you have not seen this is an absolute must watch. I will warn you right now, do not watch that crap that they put out with the same title, The Thing, which was the 2011 prequel, trying to show you, the base before this one. No. Stay away from that trash. Stick to the original. Well, I hope that you enjoyed my top 5 must-watch John Carpenter films. I'm going to keep series like these coming. I'm going to pick out a few other directors. And mind you, this show is not going to be all horror-based. I'm going to do a whole gambit of films from directors like Quentin Tarantino. I'm going to do comedy movies from the 80s where we talk about some of those that have been maybe forgotten about and need to dust off the old DVD player and bust a few of those out. So, as I said, this is a pure passion project for me. I absolutely love doing these videos, and thank you to all of you who have subscribed and who are checking the channel out. It truly means a lot to me. And as always, my friends, let's make sure to be kind to one another and stay safe out there. Thanks a lot.